All right, let's move on. The rise of the casual gamer, obviously not stopped in 2012, encroaching ever more.
Frightening.
Encroaching ever more on what we would describe as the typical gamer. So first, Adam, just how would you describe a casual gamer, and how do you think like the rise of the casual gamer?
Grandmother would be a great example.
I did play Wii tennis with your grandmother.
No,
She kicked his
she didn't
ass.
beat you too badly, did she?
Oh, it was embarrassing.
It's bad. She can't even stand up for long periods of time, so that's terrible.
Didn't stop her at all.
Need to step your game up. So
Yeah,
basically,
what impact are they having on gaming? And if we want to kind of get specific about it, competitive gaming, like specifically.
competitive gaming specifically, the impact, I don't think there's a single tiny bit of impact at all. And if there is, it will be a very short-term thing. This is how I view things. People, as soon as Farmville and what was it, Zynga?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the company? It's a terrible name for a company first. But as soon as Farmville became like this world sensation where everybody and their dog was playing Farmville, and then suddenly on some board somewhere, probably Kotaku, somebody said, wait a minute, this means that if this gets so much money, obviously everybody in the entire industry is going to make Farmville clones, and there will be no more Call of Duty with horses and lasers. And so that was what you're probably getting at, because a lot of people, that's what their argument is the more money the casual market makes, the bigger the casual segment, the more money in it, the more everybody's going to want to make stuff for it, because that's why they make sequels. Why not that be the reason they make nothing but casual games? But I don't think that's going to be the case, because as long as your first-person shooters and everything else are selling 15 million copies pop, you're not going to have to worry too much about it. But in terms of competitive gaming, that's a slightly different thing. I think competitive gaming is so far removed from the casual market that there will never be an issue. Competitive gamers and people who watch competitive games and play competitive games are a breed of their own. They're the truly hardcore gamers. They're the people that eat, breathe, sleep games in that specific game all the time. Your StarCraft 2, your League of Legends, and so on and so forth. Those are the types of gamers you're looking at. They're not interested in what's happening over in Farmville or Train Simulator or whatever else that you want to spend $3,000 in Steam money on. Is not there. You're seeing nothing but growth in the competitive game industry, specifically with League of Legends. You can't beat that. It is the most played game on the planet by a significant margin. We're talking 20 million player margin between WoW and League of Legends, and that's mind-blowing, right? There were 600,000 people watching the championship for LoL, last month or early this, something like, it's crazy, yeah, across multiple sites. And if you just think about that for about 2 seconds, you're pushing TV number territory at that point. And that's a thing that's only happened within the last 2 years. So I don't think there's any concern that the casual market is suddenly going to come stampeding through with their plush dolls and their mothers on their cell phones playing Bejeweled, trampling everything in the gaming. Well, I probably shouldn't. Bejeweled is pretty baller. I can't lie. So I don't think there's any major problem. I can see where people would be concerned about it, because like I said, it makes economic sense for everybody to jump ship. But I think what you're going to probably see is major developers will either section themselves off to have parts of the company focus on these small games. Developers will probably do something similar, or you'll see developers crop up that focus on that, and then the big publishers, your EA, your Activisions, your Bethesda, so on and so forth, will take these on to add to their stable of casual gaming, and you're never going to see the end of all of the big games. That would be crazy. Because at the end of the day, if you want to make the analogy, casual games are gateway drug for all the other stuff. So you're going to have a lot of not all the casuals, but a lot of the casuals will get into the games, and then suddenly they also want to play Halo, and they want to try different things. They want to try MMOs and everything else. They want to get into that market, and so.
You're saying we should ban them before they get on the crash.
Stop it! Stop it now, if possible. We're going to start
swarming our servers next year.
Exactly. They're going to take all the good names, and we're going to be stuck with.
I'm going to be stuck with my last name for my Guild Wars 2 character.
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo actually had a TV campaign this year that was kind of aimed, I guess, towards what they would call the casual gamer. And I think the name of the campaign was "I am not a gamer," and they kind of approached it as that there was this kind of stigma that was attached to the word gamer, and that the Nintendo 3DS is not for those people. Do you think Nintendo's kind of like alienating a lot of their core fan base by doing something like that?
I mean, yes and no. I guess it really depends what you think of as a casual gamer. I really think the question is sometimes it's ridiculous because, I mean, obviously I'm a producer on a game show. I'm fairly safe to say that I guess I would be a gamer. But at the same time, do I play games casually? Yeah, like sometimes I played so much Rock Band. It's incredible. And not because I wanted to be good. It's because it was like private karaoke, which is sometimes the best karaoke, especially if you're me. So the distinction between games are played casually and then they're played as sort of competitively, or more, even if you don't play competitively, you play them in a much more hardcore kind of way. So yes, I think most gamers would probably have some sort of thing they do casually. Gamers exist on this scale of what they sort of do, and even the same fan of two games. You take two StarCraft fans, they probably have different tendencies in terms of the other games that they're playing.
And we'll have more of our 2012 year in review coming up on the Game Code right after this.